So now that we've got our color palette, I think it's time for us to design our logo. So we're going to create 2 logos, one that's a long one with the full business name in it, and one that just has a little icon in it that's round that can be used for smaller things. And yeah, let's jump straight into it. So first of all, let's go back to all our designs page. Now, I find the best way to start with a logo, well, it might be good for you if you want to start with logo 500 pixels by 500 pixels, because there are a lot of logo templates out there. And let me show you what that means. So Canva comes with a lot of logo templates like this. So they're pre-made logos that you can use for inspiration to inspire you to look at, how they're designed. These are all made by professional graphic designers, and you might like this style and have a look at that and go, yeah, I really like this, and this would be your square logo. But I personally prefer to do it a bit differently. The reason why is because these are square, these are all square, and I think it's really great to also have a longer version. It's definitely not necessary. Trust me, like you can, Twitter, Facebook, all of that, they don't have, actually Facebook does, but they do have just the icon. But the way that I like to create them is I start off with the full business name, because it helps me to visualize things a bit better. And it gives me something to start with. If I have a business name, then I've got words that I can work with, and that helps me to create my design. So first of all, Motorbike Hero, I started with a custom size. And I made it 500 pixels long and 200 pixels high. You don't really need to know what, pixels, at least not now. It'd be good later on to know what pixels are. A pixel is just a tiny little dot, and it determines how big, like how many pixels determines how big it's going to be. For example, this is 200 pixels high, this is 500 pixels wide. Think about the laptop that you're working on. Your laptop might be around 1,000 pixels wide. Think about that. So 500 is going to be about half. So we want to create a nice big logo, and here we've got 500 by 200. So I'm going to call it Motorbike Hero, which is our business brand name, and I'm going to put some text in there. Just gonna grab any text, a heading, and I'm going to go Motorbike on the next line, Hero. And this is a pretty basic way that I like to create logos. I'm not a graphic designer or anything like that, but yeah, it helps me make it a bit easier. And then I make that a bit longer like that. Okay, and then to start, I'll have my writing on the right and a logo, like a square or round logo or something, an image, a graphic on the left. And that graphic will generally be my square one. Okay. So now what we want to do is find a font. So this font is, you might want to be using throughout your website on your headings. So when it came to Motorbike Hero, what kind of font did I want? I was thinking, let's have a look, because I don't really know. And what I did was, I was thinking I would like to have one that's, motorbike, it's kind of like racy, maybe, it's going fast. So maybe a font that's kind of moving, maybe italic, because italic is kind of on an angle, so it makes it look like it's moving. And what I did was I just went through this list, yeah. And I just had a look, and I was looking, is there anything that I like here? And I tried a few, but I'm like, oh, this doesn't have italic. It's probably not going to work. No monument. Nah, it's too fat. Nor'wester. Oliver. I really like pop-ins because it's fun, but I don't think it suits. It's like fun and playful, but that doesn't suit motorbike riding. So I kind of wanted something else. That one looks alright actually, and it's on that angle. It's on an italic. It's pretty cool, but I'm not sure if I like that. Ooh, I like that one. It's on an angle. It looks quite cool. It's nice and bold. I do like nice and bold. But the one that I went with, I just had a look at this. Which one? It's called Mixer. But what I did was I made it capitals. And here, click this little button. It takes it from lowercase to uppercase. I don't know if I'm much of a fan of the lowercase, but the uppercase, I think, wow, that's kind of cool. It's like fun, but bold. And I like bold when it comes to headings. And I can see this heading being used throughout my website as well. Not as my text, paragraph text, definitely not that, but as a bold heading, I quite like it. So let's do that. Now that we've got this here, and if you just drag it around, you can center it quite easily. Clicks into place. So now we want a graphic. So where do I start? If you click on elements, you can see here on the left, Canva gives you quite a lot of stuff. You can even put music in it. You can put videos, but we don't want music or videos for a logo. We're looking for elements, which is graphic design kind of things. You've got some frames here. All sorts of different graphic designers create things for elements here. A lot of them are paid, a lot of them are free, but you can get a paid one if you want, but it's also possible to find really good ones that are free. So what and I recommend not using photos. You don't want to use photos for logos, because when it comes to a logo, you need it to be able to expand exponentially, so get bigger and bigger without getting really pixelated, without going fuzzy. And you need it to be able to get really, really, really small without losing what it is, like not knowing what it is, like, oh, it's too small. So with a photo, when it gets really small and there's a lot of detail, you can't really see what it's about. And the same with really large, it'll get pixelated. Plus, if you're putting it onto business cards or t-shirts or print or anything, you want it to look good, and generally photos aren't going to come out as clear. So stay away from photos and always stick to elements like this, and try to go for simple. Even things like this here are quite detailed. You can still definitely use that as a logo, but I think nice and simple is a good way to go. So what I did was I started with, we're servicing motorbikes, so it's got to be something motorbikey. We want it not just about racing motorbikes, but we want it to be like maybe cogs. So I looked up cogs. Here. That looks all right. Motorbike hero, but I was thinking, yeah, it's kind of like just cogs without the motorbike. Maybe it does need a motorbike in it. Or, we could even go hero. Maybe it's actually, I'm going to put that back. When it comes to, creating your logos, I highly recommend, if you come up with a design like this one, and you're like, oh, I'm not really sure, but, it's all right. Instead of just deleting what you've done, click this button here and go duplicate page. And that's going to create a duplicate of what you've already created. Now you can, for one of them, just delete that and you can try something else. So So now you've always got this one. If you ever go back and go, you know what, I really like that first one, you can always go back to it. So here, you know, now we could focus on the hero. Maybe we'll do this. Maybe if I was really trying to be kind of like cartoony or what do you call it? Focus on the hero part of it, we could do something like that. Or, you know, maybe something like this. And you could put like an M and or like a motorbike in it. Like something that might be a bit much. It kind of looks like a stop sign, like a, you know, warning, look out for motorbike heroes. That's pretty cool, you know. And then you could make this that same red color if you wanted. So it's going, oh yeah, that's kind of cool. Maybe we'll keep that one. And we'll do that again. Get rid of that after we've duplicated it. And the cool thing about these ones is some of them some elements that people create, they're not stuck with the color. I mean, some of them, it might be this one. See, if I move it here, it's a scooter, you can't change the color. So if this doesn't fit my style, if this doesn't fit my color palette, then I'm not going to be able to change the color. So it's not going to fit my branding. But if I was really set on it, like I really, really, really like this one, or maybe I really, really, really like this one, but I can't change the color, then what you can do is you can go to Fiverr. Fiverr is a website that professional freelancers go to advertise their work, the work that they do. And it's very, very big for graphic design. And you can go here, go to logo design. You can even get someone to design your own logo for you. If you really don't want to go through this and you don't mind paying a bit of money, I mean, you don't know exactly what you're going to get. Depending on how good they are or how good you communicate what you're wanting. But what you can do is, if you've got a general idea, here we've got a general idea, and you can say, this is kind of what I'm looking for, but these colors are the wrong colors. I want you to change these colors to the color palette that I have, and kind of make it better. Blah blah blah. You could even change the color palette for this and just give them an idea of what you want. So that is something that you can do on Fiverr. If the image that you've chosen isn't editable in the way that you want it to. So, but in some cases like this, you might get lucky and be like, ooh, I'm going to, you know, change these to my color palette. So we go back and switching tabs here, back to the main brand color. Might grab this hex code, go back again and change the main color here. So now it's that color. Dark accent. May not look as good, but copy that color. Ooh. Maybe if you click on new color, you could maybe see if you can change it. Yeah, maybe that's more relevant to your branding colors, and it still looks quite good. So you could do something like that. But let's keep going. And I'm just going to keep going down. Motorbike hero. It's a bit boring. Could work though. I like the simplicity of it actually. And then what I could do is make that a bit smaller. There. Line it up nicely. Make it a nice bit bigger. Looks quite good actually. There we go. Let's duplicate that again, and let's keep going. Keep going down. Lots of motorbikes. So you can scroll on forever. You can see here that there are just so many motorbikes here. You can spend a lot of time looking for graphics, trying to find the best one for you. Now, I'm not exactly sure where I found mine. It was definitely here under motorbike. We might have to just keep going down a little bit more. Now we're getting into motorbike helmets and all that kind of stuff. We can go on and on. No, it's not here. But it was, where is it? Now I really want to find it. Anyways, if I go back to my recent discoveries, I'll recently used. So here, any of the ones that you've used in your designs, it comes here in your recently used. If I go to see all, this is actually the one that I ended up using. So get rid of this. And I just thought it's a mixture of like the cogs and the motorbike as well. So I thought it matched quite nicely. And I like to line the top and the bottom together. So you can see here that this top here kind of matches the top of here, and that here kind of matches the bottom. Trying as best as I can and put it in the middle. There we go. So there we go. Here is a start, and I thought I want to put my brand colors in there. So let's go back. I got this brand color. This is the color that I wanted. If I'm looking for this color, if you just click on new color, it's going to take you to that color and its hex code. The other way is grabbing it from here. But here we go back to it. Click on this. I want to change the color from black. Paste it in there. And there we go. I thought it'd be cool, you know, it might change this word here, hero, to this same color. And I will go here and, document colors. Might just grab that one. Very simple. Motorbike hero. And there we go. That is a logo that we have created. Very cool. And what you can do is, with all of your designs, you can get feedback in the feedback space. And the best way to do that is to click on share. Actually, click on these three dots and go share link. So anyone with the link can view this design. So it means that no one can edit it. They can just look at it. Click copy. Then we'll go to the forum. Go to toolbox. Actually, no, go to ask for feedback. Because this is the feedback space. Click on new topic. And then you can paste, actually click on embed, because we want people to be able to view it in there. Embed like this. And, actually, sorry, my mistake. It's the wrong one. So what we want to do is we want to click on this, go to see all, and we want this embed code right here. So click on embed, click on embed again. It was just telling you that it's going to update automatically. So any changes that you make to this, it will update there. So you don't need to keep, downloading, uploading, all that kind of stuff. So we want this bottom one here. It's a smart embed link. Copy that, go into here. I'm going to get rid of that. click on embed, paste that link, and then add. And here your designs are going to pop up and people can view them directly in here. So I love some feedback, blah, blah, blah. And you can just share, you know, what your business is about, who your audience is, so that people can give the most relevant feedback. So that is that part of the logo. I'm just going to get rid of that. Just go cancel. So now the next part is to just get this square one. And this, I have to say, is very easy because I've just chosen for this one right here to be my logo. But in order to create that, we got to open up a new design, create a new design, because we don't want it to be this big. You know, we don't want this to be 500 by 200. We want it to be a square. So let's make it 500 by 500. So what we do now, we go back to our homepage in Canva, create a design. Now let's create a new design, a new custom one. The other way is you click on custom size and it will give you 500 by 500. Oh, you can choose 500 by 500, sorry. Or you can just go down here to logo and it's already set to 500 by 500. So here I'm going to copy this. So copy, and then I'm doing Command V for paste. And here we go. Just going to make it big, give it a tiny little space on the outside. But there we go. That is the square logo. You might need to do a little bit more editing, but that if yours is a bit more complicated or has a bit more working parts. But there we have it. And we can call this something else. But in this case, I already have the designs, and what I've done, what I urge you to do is download the ones that you like. So download, choose the one that you've chosen, and choose the one that you've chosen. Click on, for example, I'm clicking on page 1 because that's the one that I want. That's my final one, and I'm going to go done. And then I'm going to go download. And that is going to download it to my my computer somewhere, and it's going to ask me where do you want to save it. So I'm saving it as Motorbike Hero logo, and then I would save that. But I've already got a couple saved, so I'm going to cancel that. Make sure that you put it in, you know, you create a new folder that's for your logos. So, or website images, something like that. It's good to keep them all in one place instead of having them all in your downloads folder. So it's really good to get into the habit of being organized when it comes to your images. Okay, and do the same for your square one, the one that we just looked at here. Download it. Once you've decided and you're happy with it, download it. Yeah. Now let's get out of that, and feel free to share your style guide in the forum as well, in the feedback space. So now we want to input our logo into the style guide. So if we go back to this square logo here, I am going to grab this image and I'm going to go copy, go back to here, and then we can go paste, Control V. And here I'll just style it, just resize it to the right size and put it in the right spot. For you, what you would have is, I recommend that you create just a rectangle here, it will be there already, and change it to your dark shade. Whatever your darkest shade color is, make that your dark shade. So if you have a dark background and you put, say, this logo on it, you can see here that the contrast isn't very good. you know, black on this dark shade color, it doesn't stand out very well. So this is what you don't want. Google will penalize your website if you have stuff like this, because they're saying it's not accessible. People who are vision impaired are going to have a really hard time seeing this, so don't do that. So it's important to have a light version of your logo, and that's what we've got here. Let me put that back. So how do we do this? It's quite simple. Go back to your design, create a white version. So duplicate it. So make sure that you keep this one that you like, duplicate so it creates a new one, like I did down here. And you can't see it at all, but it's the white version. And then you can download it. Or instead of downloading it, just copy it, copy it, and then when you go back to here, paste it, it's going to show up here, and then you want to resize it, blah, 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 but I'll just delete that one. And the same goes for this other design here that we have. What I did was I just duplicated again, made another copy, and then for this black color, I wanted to change it to white, which you can see here. And then what I did here is I just copied both of them, copy, and then I pasted it. And here it is. And you can just drag it to where you want to put it. And that is all about logos. I really hope this has helped you get started and help you create a design and have fun with it. Don't spend too much time on it. Get something nice and simple, and you can always change it later, but it's always great to have something to start on right now. All right, enjoy. See you in the next video.